I'm going to show you how to graph an absolute value and a quadratic equation. Step 1. When you're looking at something like this, what you're going to look for is the h. The h is always going to be inside the parentheses, the little lines, whatever it is. So this 4 is inside. But the h is always the opposite number of whatever's on the inside. So this is a plus 4. So our h is going to be a negative 4. So we're going to make an XY t-chart. We're going to start with negative 4. I'm going to choose two numbers above it, so negative 5, negative 6, and negative 3, negative 2 below it. Alright? So what we're going to do with all these is now take these and plug them into here. Okay? So it's going to start with negative 6. So you can start with negative 6. So we're going to replace the x with negative 6 plus 4 minus 2. Okay? So minus 2. Okay? So when we do this, this is going to be negative 6 plus 4. So what is negative 6 plus 4? Well, negative 6 plus 4 is, I'm going to bring this down here, so I'm going to put a little parenthesis 1 by it to show you that this is what we're doing. So it's going to come down here. Okay, so this is going to be negative 6 plus 4 minus 2. The absolute value of negative 2 then, negative 2 minus 2. So what this is, it's saying whatever number's inside of here, make it positive. So negative 2 becomes a positive 2. So positive 2 minus 2 becomes 0. Okay? So then I'm going to put a little 2 here. So now we're going to do with negative 5. Okay, so it becomes negative 5 plus 4 minus 2. This gives you the absolute value of negative 1 minus 2, which gives you, so what that is that's going to turn into a positive 1. Minus 2 becomes negative 1. Okay, same thing with the 4. Negative 4 plus 4 minus 2 equals absolute value of 0, which will give us negative 2. And then when we do it for the 3, so it's going to be for the 3, be negative 3 plus 4 minus 2, which equals negative 3 plus 4 is a positive 1. Now a positive 1 stays positive, alright? So when it's in an absolute value, it stays positive. So it's going to be positive 1 minus 2, which is negative 1 again. Then we've got to do the 5, or to do the fifth one. So it's going to be negative 2 plus 4 minus 2. So that gives you the absolute value of 2 minus 2, which is 0 again. So how do you know you did it right? Is that it goes 0, negative 1, negative 2, negative 1, 0, meaning that this number has numbers repeating on each side of it. So now let's graph these. So the first one's going to be negative 6, 0. So I'm going to go negative 6, 0. Next one will be negative 5, negative 1. Then it'll be negative 4, negative 2. Then it'll be negative 3, negative 1. And then finally 2, 0. And what this should make is a V shape again. Okay, so this is an absolute value, it makes a V shape. So now let's do this one. Okay, so I'm going to do it down here since it's going to be a lot easier. So I'm going to make my little XY t-chart again. And I'm going to look for the thing on the inside that's a positive 2. So my middle number will be negative 2. it's going to go two numbers above, numbers below, and we're going to plug these in. So, first one will be negative 4 plus 2 squared minus 3. So negative 4 plus 2 gives us negative 2 squared minus 3. So if you put this in the calculator, you'd have to put the parentheses in there, otherwise the calculator is not going to do it correctly. What this is saying is we're taking negative 2 times negative 2, which is a positive 4, minus 3, which gives you 1. So let's do this for the rest. Negative 3 plus 2 squared minus 3 equals negative 1 squared minus 3. So negative 1 times negative 1 is a positive 1, minus 3 is negative 2. Then let's do negative 2. Negative 2 plus 2 squared minus 3 gives us 0 squared minus 3, which is just negative 3. The next one, which would be negative 1 plus 2 squared minus 3, will give us 1 squared minus 3, which just gives us negative 2, and then with 0. So what you're going to notice is you have a number here, and it's going to repeat. It's going to repeat again. Alright, so it's just like the absolute value, except for it's just a little bit different when graphed. It's going to look a little different. So first we're going to do negative 1, 1, negative 4, 1, I mean. Then it's going to be negative 3, negative 2. Then it's going to be negative 2, negative 3. I'm just going to quickly graph the rest of this. Okay, and what it should make is a U shape versus a V shape. Okay, that's how you graph an absolute value and a quadratic.